2020 has been a rough year for travelers. The recent outbreak has disrupted not only our sense of security and safety, but also our ability and willingness to travel based on the risks. Also, for those of us in the points and miles hobby, this means that it might be time for us to reevaluate our strategy and pivot as necessary. Hey, how's it going everyone? It's Ernest from Trip Pursuit. In this video, we'll review ways that you can adjust your card strategy for more uncertain times. We collect points and miles for a variety of reasons. Some of us are interested in cash back, but many of us gravitate toward travel as our primary goal for collecting credit card rewards. Other than working in the travel industry for a hotel brand or airline, I can't think of a more effective way to offset the cost of travel. And oftentimes the welcome offers associated with these cards are enough to pay for a round-trip flight or several nights at a fancy hotel. But then what happens when worldwide travel is disrupted? That's exactly what many of us are facing now with the recent outbreak. So in this video, I want to discuss how you might pivot your card strategy this year to changes in your travel plans or lifestyle. The first thing I would examine is how your spending patterns have changed. For example, if you're not traveling as much, then you might be spending more money in other categories like groceries and streaming services. It's also possible that you're saving more money now due to all the uncertainty, which isn't a bad thing either. Understanding your outflows and how they might have shifted is a great way to think about how you might want to adjust your card strategy to capture bonuses on your new spending pattern. The second factor I would examine is your current travel plans. I assume that most people watching this channel are avid or more frequent travelers, so I can imagine how the current outbreak situation has affected many of you. Whether you travel or not is a very personal question and dilemma. I covered how we decided to postpone our Maui trip in a recent video based on our assessment of risk. That assessment was based on a lot of factors, not just the risk of getting infected. For a lot of people, you might factor in the risk of being stuck somewhere because of air travel disruptions. Some of you might have people that you interact with regularly who are high risk and don't want to inadvertently pass the infection as a carrier. There's so many things that fall into this equation of whether or not to travel right now. For me, I think we're planning to shift our travel to more local trips where we can travel by car. An example is our upcoming trip to Joshua Tree, where we plan to stay in an Airstream and go hiking. This sort of trip allows us to still explore but not be dependent on air travel in case we see more restrictions. We also happen to love the outdoors, so getting away and disconnecting is something that we always look forward to, and perhaps even more relevant now with all the overwhelming and depressing news regarding the outbreak. That being said, while I love having lounge access as a benefit, it might not be valuable to me this year. That also means that I may not use other services and benefits like ride-sharing services, which could affect whether I renew a card like the Sapphire Reserve. The last factor that I would look at is your current setup. Do you have a mix of points earning and cashback cards? If you're heavily invested in points, then you might consider augmenting your setup with cashback cards. I say this because points are generally most valuable for travel, but if you don't plan on traveling, especially in the near future, you might look to earn cashback instead. There are many cards in this category. My recommendation is to focus on cards that can get you at least 2% cash back on the bulk of your purchases. I would argue that this is the minimum earning rate expectation for non-bonus spending. In fact, I think a flat rate card mixed with a rotating bonus card can give you a lot of coverage if you don't already have one. Some cashback cards that I would recommend checking out are the Bank of America Cash Rewards, Citi Double Cash, Chase Freedom, American Express Blue Cash Preferred, and US Bank Cash Plus. Also, as of this video, Discover is offering a cashback match for the first year, so it could be a good card to get for the next year, especially if you're focused on less travel. Finally, if you're heavily invested in flexible point programs and have a lot of points in your account, I wouldn't worry. You can always save them for future travel. I know things seem bleak right now, but this situation will eventually pass. Continuing to earn points is still worthwhile as long as you're willing to be patient. You also have the option to redeem flexible points for cashback or other shopping options. While I typically advise against this, since it's generally a lower redemption rate than travel, it might make sense given the current climate. For example, I know many of you might be affected economically by the outbreak, so cashing out your points might give you some extra security. For the sake of simplicity, I'll focus on the big 3 flexible points programs. For Chase points, you'll get 1 cent per point if you initiate a cashback redemption. Chase also offers redemptions in the form of gift cards for certain retailers and sometimes offers promotions and discounts. For American Express points, you can redeem your points for statement credits at a rate of 0.6 cents per point, which is fairly low. You can get a slightly higher redemption rate for redemptions through Amazon and PayPal, and usually at least 1 cent per point for gift cards. And for those of you with the Charles Schwab American Express Platinum Card, you have the special ability to redeem membership reward points at 1.25 cents per point toward your Charles Schwab investment account. That's not a bad way to use your points, especially if you don't plan to travel. Lastly, Citi allows you to redeem thank you reward points for a statement credit or charitable donation at 0.5 cents per point and gift cards at 1 cent per point. Again, redeeming flexible points for travel is still a better value in most cases, but since these are weird times, you might consider these redemption options, especially if you're planning to avoid travel this year. As always, I also want to share some things to consider when reevaluating your credit card strategy. Number one, take advantage of banking relationships. Some banks allow you to unlock additional rewards by simply banking with them. One of the best examples is Bank of America. If you happen to bank with them and maintain high balances, you can unlock higher earning rates on their cards through their preferred rewards program. This can drastically improve the earning rates on their credit cards, making it a very compelling setup for those who want to focus more on cashback than points. Number two, consider product changing cards to avoid losing points. If you're sitting on a lot of points but don't want to pay a large annual fee on a premium card, since you're not able to maximize the benefits, you might consider product changing your card to a no annual fee version. Most issuers offer some card that allows you to still retain your points while reducing or eliminating the annual fee. The notable exception is American Express charge cards, which do not have a no annual fee version. You can park your points on other American Express credit cards that earn membership reward points, but you would have to cancel your charge card or product change to the green card, which still has an annual fee of $150. And finally, number three, be careful of high minimum spend requirements. Using a large trip can often be an easy way to meet a very high minimum spend requirement. If you think your spending patterns may change or life may experience more disruptions, you may not want to add the stress of having to spend a lot of money. That being said, there are usually ways to pay bills using services like Plastic. Also, most cashback cards have modest minimum spend requirements, so it may be less of an issue if you start shifting toward a more cashback-oriented setup. How are you all responding to the outbreak? Are you adjusting your card setup given the recent current events? If so, how are you pivoting? Please share in the comment section below. If you're interested in applying for a new credit card, we would love it if you use our link in the video description or on our website. It's an easy way to support our channel, especially if you found our content to be valuable and helpful. Also, if you need any help with picking the right credit card or developing a credit card strategy, sign up for our free card consultation service. You basically fill out a questionnaire and schedule a 15-minute video or audio call with me to review your recommendation. We hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. If so, please give us a thumbs up and consider sharing the video with others. It may not seem like much, but it really helps us with growing our channel and community. As always, we appreciate you checking out our channel and video. I know things are tough right now, but stay strong. Until next time, travel safe and travel smart.